Hi, my name's Ben Northey. I'm going to be conducting the Melbourne Symphony Orchestra Meet the Orchestra concerts this year, which we've called Music of Australia. Because of course orchestral music, whilst it came from Europe, it's fascinating to see what Australians have done with it, and particularly Australian composers, what kind of things have inspired them to write pieces of music. Strangely, the only piece of non-Australian music in this program is the very opening piece, which is by a German composer called Richard Strauss. It's got the very, very complicated name of Also sprach Zarathustra, or Thus Spake Zarathustra, and it starts with a rumbling low C. It's one of the first pieces of music that got me really excited about the orchestra and the kind of power that an orchestra can provide. So it starts like this, rumbling low C, and then this theme comes in. I'm sure you know it. The drums take over. You've probably heard it from the movie 2001, which it is most famous for. But it's an electrifying atmosphere to introduce students to an orchestra for the first time. They will not know what has hit them when we start playing that piece of music. And then we're joined by the presenter for this concert, Eric Avery, who's going to be teaching us about Indigenous culture. And of course, that's been the source of great inspiration for many Australian composers, particularly our most famous, Peter Sculthorpe, who has written a piece of music called Kakadu, about the Kakadu National Park in the Northern Territory. Influenced heavily by Aboriginal chant. Eric's going to be talking about that. We're going to be performing excerpts of Kakadu and hearing how it relates to that landscape and what Peter took from that part of Australia and turned it into music. How does a composer do that? We'll find out. The second piece is James Ledger's Indian Pacific, again about landscape and about an Australian story of the train journey from Perth to Sydney, and imagining our composer James on the train looking out the window and seeing all of the different parts of Australia as he travels across the vast continent, and then turning that into music, also finding out how the rhythm of the train influenced the kind of music that James wrote. One of our best and most celebrated composers, I suppose, is Elena Katz-Chernin. Elena is a very, very interesting, unique composer. You know immediately a piece of music is hers once you hear it. She has her own style. This is a piece called Eliza's Aria, and it requires a female voice, a soprano in this case. And ours is going to be young Australian soprano Jessica Azodi performing Eliza's Aria from Wild Swans, which is a ballet that Elena wrote. It's a beautiful piece of music, was used worldwide for Barclays Bank for their advertising campaign. It's on YouTube. I would definitely look that up, and I'm sure that the students will love the magical world that that piece of music evokes. The next piece of music is the audience participation work, and this year it's going to be written by Eric Avery, and there'll be an online resource with all of the different elements that the students will be able to learn and practice before coming to our concert, and that's always a really exciting part of these concerts each year. The final piece is by Graham Kerner. It's called Powerhouse, and as the title implies, it's a piece of music that's filled with the energy of modern urban Australia. It's filled with rhythm and with life, and we're hoping that it'll bring the concert home with a great bang and send all of the students off inspired about orchestral music and hungry to learn more about Australian composers particularly. We hope you can join us. We're looking forward to these concerts very much.